Let's get into it. As always, just want to keep this quick, clean, and easy. So just want to go over my pre-market game plan going into Monday, and then I'll do a session recap as well. I'll make that very quick. It is a Saturday for me, Saturday morning, so sorry I'm getting this video out early. I have a pretty action-packed weekend, and I just realized I wouldn't be able to get this out tomorrow, so didn't want to leave anyone hanging. Want to make sure you guys were able to have this analysis and look over it on the weekend going into Monday. Sorry I do not have the live trading session up from yesterday's session, Friday the 24th. I was not trading from home, so I didn't have my setup, my monitor, my mic, and all that stuff. Something I did want to hit on is I know a lot of traders on here who are subscribed and watch. They enjoy when I thoroughly break down each individual trade that I take. So please let me know if you want me to continue to just do that, a trade recap throughout the week as I take each trade, or just wait to the end of the week and then I can do a weekly recap of every trade that I took. The way I see it, I'm already posting my live trading sessions every day, so you'll see those trades in there. But I know people like when I break them down more thoroughly, my entries, my exits, my P&L, and whatnot. So just let me know. But I'm more so leaning towards just weekly recap at the end of the week of every individual trade that I took. Um, Please feel free to like and subscribe. We've been getting a lot of foot traffic on these pre-market videos, and I'm very happy about that. I love that people are cashing out. I love that people are utilizing these. So please turn on your notifications as well. I'm posting these before every trading session. I said in one of my live videos, I'm giving free game. I love that I can help. I love that I can give back. So please feel free to like and subscribe, and let's get into it. So starting off with the earnings coming up into this week. So a lot of tech names, big tech names. I know some people trade SoFi. We got Meta, we got Microsoft, we got Google, Amazon, Coinbase, and Apple. So out of all these names, the main name that I trade is Apple. So Monday is probably going to be the only day that I really look at Apple. Maybe Tuesday. I'll see how the IV looks. We know we don't really want to touch a name on earnings week just because the implied volatility. So Monday may be the only day I'll look to take a trade on Apple. But other than that, I'm pretty much hands off this name until Friday. So hope this helps. Just want to give you guys the earning reports coming out into this week. Very heavy on the tech side, as we can see. So Wednesday's going to be a big day. I call it the big three on Wednesday, and then big three on Thursday after market close. All right, let's get into the charts. So you can see here, I cleaned up my charts. This looks really good. It was time for a cleanup anyway, now that we got that next leg higher. But something I wanted to break down is, understanding market structure. So you can see let me go here actually, let's go here on the daily. So as you can see, trend, consolidation, next leg higher, right? Pullback, trend, consolidation, next leg higher. Get that? So this consolidation period that we just had, that's 100% normal in an uptrend. Now, hopefully we just got our next leg higher. So coming into Monday, you can clearly see we broke outside of this channel. If you've been watching all the pre-market live videos going into last week, you know I've been saying we stay away from zones. But I want to see the top of the zone turn into support. Now, on Friday, we pretty much had a straight up move, but the reason for that being is, as you can see, we already got the break and retest pre-market. So, we missed that trade on AMD last week because something like that happens. So we know you can do about it. But we got that break and retest pre-market, and then that really caused our straight up move. Now, if we fall under this previous day low, that is very solid because that's a gap fill. Let me go here on the daily. You can see right here, that is a gap fill. The key play that I will be looking for on the SPY coming into Monday is this pullback long off of 673 to the upside. This is an A+ setup, right? We got a gap fill play, and then we can target this all-time high. As you know, I've been saying this trade, this is the late trade. You don't want this trade. This is not a good RR trade. You can take it, it's valid, but that's not a better RR trade. A pullback long down here, targeting the top of this range, is the better RR trade. We fill the gap, sweep that liquidity, and get the dip. We're buying the dip into the continuation to the upside. This is the better RR trade. So coming into Monday, this 673 is really the key level that I'm looking for. If we get a break and retest over the 678.47, which is now the new all-time highs, I'm hands off. As you know, I don't really trade off of previous day high and previous day low levels, but this key level, 673, this is the pullback long we're looking for. Same here on the Qs. Beautiful, clean chart. We finally broke outside of this channel. Same thing with the SPY. Like I was saying all last week, we'll avoid this channel. Coming into Monday, same thing here. We have a gap fill. As you can see, we got that break and retest during the pre-market that caused our upside. So this is the valid shot. That is the beautiful RR trade. I've been saying the overall markets buying the Qs have been having really good price action. So this is exactly what we're looking for coming into Monday. Like I said, you can take the break and retest over this, but this is already, you're joining the party late. This is the A+ entry. You already want to be in a trade when we get back to the top of the zone. So if you do like to trade, breakouts of all-time highs or previous day highs, what do I always teach? You want proper displacement. We want to see that buyers are in control, then we get that pullback long entry so you can have a valid shot targeting more upside. AMD, beautiful. Broke outside of this range, was not able to catch this, obviously. This was on the pre-market game plan going into Friday, a break and retest over 240.10. Now, this is a big deal because all of last week, you kept hearing me break down. We have not been getting a daily candle close. We have not been getting a daily candle close above here. It's been very hard. And what do? We end up gapping up. This is a gap. We gapped up, and then we made all-time highs. So what am I looking for? It may take some time, but understanding market structure, this is needed. We need that retest off this 240.10. This is the A+ long. So coming into Monday, who knows? I can't predict the future. I highly doubt, we'll pull back this deep. on Monday, but we'll see. That's the A plus trade. If we stay above this 253, I'm pretty much hands off this name. I'll just give this name some time to develop some price action and make some key levels to take a trade off of. But what do I always say? A lot of thin volume that has to be filled. Straight up equals straight down. We see that all the time. We saw it on Tesla this past week. So this is the A plus trade that I'm looking for. You already want to be in this trade when we're gravitating back towards all-time highs. So I hope that makes sense. But this needs a retest. Remember that. This needs a retest. The same thing that happened on Thursday happened on Friday. So during my pre-market plan going into Friday, I know I don't have the video up. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So we got that break. We got that retest. And then as soon as market open, we ripped to the upside. Nothing you can do about that when that occurs during the pre-market. But the A plus long on this name is a pullback long off this 240.10 on Monday. Like I said, you can take the break and retest over this, but you're joining the party late. You're joining the party late. There's no more key levels for us to gravitate towards, unless we make another all-time high during the pre-market, and then you can look for a pullback long here, targeting the pre-market high. But this is the better RR trade down here. This is the A plus long at this 240.10 in the video. This is what I mean, when I say patience pays, and you let your trades come to you. Now, I took a trade on Apple. I'll break that down in a separate video. This is the patient trader. This is the trader who's patient. They don't force trades. They let their trades come to them, and when they do, they get paid for their patience. I've been saying in every video that this 184.50 and this 179.45 down here were the two key levels to watch. We're going to avoid our no trade zone because there's nothing in there. It's low probability environment, and we're going to wait for our trade to come to us. What happens on Friday? Beautiful break, retest. We turn this into support. As I always say, treat your key levels like mini zones. We turn this into support, buyer step up, and push this thing higher. Now, if you've been rocking with me for a while and you watch my higher time frame key level lesson video, something that I always say is when I get a break and retest over a weekly level, I'm looking for a possible swing trade. I'm looking for a possible swing trade. So you zoom out here, this is the A plus trade. This is what we've been waiting for. This is a weekly level. This is a big deal because now we are bullish bias again on this higher time frame. As long as we are above this 184.50, we are bullish bias. You can clearly see outside of this channel how clean the price action was when we were above 184.50, and now we're back above it. So NVIDIA is back in play. This is what happens when you avoid the no trade zone. You let your trades come to you. Beautiful break, retest. We just turned resistance into support, and that was a textbook trade. So if you're able to catch that, kudos to you. Congrats to you. You deserve that win. That was a very big win. If you were able to catch this and then possible swing trade, that's amazing. Remember, as long as you are above 184.50 and you are in a long position, your thesis is correct. All this is noise. That's all noise. As long as you're above this level, your thesis is correct. So if you're able to, take next week on, sometimes I do when I'm getting a break and retest on a weekly on a Friday, I want to see, okay, this is a break of structure type of trade, which this was on the video, and you get that continuation. So just beautiful break, good displacement, retest, buyer step in, and push this thing higher. So coming into Monday, we are back in play. This is what I'm looking for because now we are bullish bias on this higher time frame as long as we're above 184.50 or a break and retest over this 188.15. So now I'm long bias on this name. I'm looking for a pullback long off of 184.50 or a break and retest over 188.15. Obviously, anything in between these two key levels are our no trade zone. Tesla. So I clean my chart up a lot on Tesla. The reason for that being, one, there's nothing in here. Two, I'm not taking any trades in here. And three, you've been hearing me say the only key levels I'm taking a trade off of on Tesla is over 450 and under 410. Now, I've been saying 410 is the reason this name has been bullish bias. 410 has been holding Tesla up. If you watch the pre-market video, I believe, coming into Friday, I break that down pretty thoroughly. And as you can see, there's a lot of resistance sitting up here at this 450, 445. A lot of resistance. If we can get over 450, there's nothing in its way. If we get under 410, we're now bearish bias on this higher time frame. Now, coming into Friday, go back, watch that video. Something I said is if Tesla opens up on Friday and we sell off, I will not be surprised because of this. We see it all the time. Straight up equals straight down. This is a lot of thin volume that has to be filled. What did Tesla do? Right, swept this liquidity, swept the previous day high, right, got that reversal, and we had a trending day to the downside. It filled pretty much more than 50% of this thin volume to the upside. Straight up equals straight down. We see that all the time. So anything in here, I'm just hands off. I wanted to really clean up this chart because there's nothing in here. If you want to scalp this, sure, by all means, you're practicing bad habits, but this is the same thing like we just saw on the video, right? We just wait. We wait for our trade to come to us. So we're looking for a break and retest over 450. There's nothing in its way. And we know when Tesla runs, it runs. Looking for a break and retest over 450. If we fall under 410, I'm bearish bias on this name because on the higher time frame, let's go here on the daily. This will be a lower low. 410 is a very key level. When we broke and retested this level, this pushed us up to 470. And you can see when we pull back, we've been defending this very well. So just be patient, treat it like NVIDIA, sit on your hands. I'm not taking a trade as long as we are over 450 or under 410. Now, we are bullish bias on this name. Tesla's been flirting with the top of this range. It's been flirting with the top of this range. We have a lot of sellers sitting up here. Earnings didn't really do much. So we will be eyeing this coming into Monday. But other than that, as long as price is sitting in between 450 and 410, I'm hands off on this name. Apple, beautiful, beautiful. So something I've been noticing on Apple, I'll break this down in the pre-market video going into Friday, is a couple of things. Apple's been giving us setups on Fridays. The last 2 Fridays in a row, beautiful trend to the upside. Now, once you understand market structure, a couple of these things make sense. Typically, after a nice trendy day, it's followed up by consolidation. So what did I say? Go watch that video, right? Nice trendy day, consolidation. Nice trendy day, consolidation. What can we expect? Nice trendy day, right? Can't make that up. So coming into Friday, as we know, the pre-market game plan was a pullback long off this 260.10. You can clearly see, ended up getting that pullback long off this 260.10, had a beautiful trend to the upside. That is textbook right off our pre-market plan. Now, what do you guys know that I always say? My favorite pullback long entries is when we actually fail that level and then reclaim it. We see this every day, time after time. Why is that? That's because these retail traders that are trying to short this stock that is clearly trending in bullish on the higher time frame are getting squeezed out of their positions for a loss. And what does that do? That fuels this move higher. You should know this by now. This should be textbook. So I actually get more intrigued by a trade on a pullback entry when we actually fail that level and then reclaim it. And you can clearly see, right, that price action a little bit starting off. As soon as we reclaim, beautiful trend to the upside, momentum push to the upside. That's exactly what you want to see. So that was textbook right off the pre-market plan. Now, you can see we're pretty much sitting, let me go here on the hour, pretty much starting to form a no trade zone here. Pretty much. This was the A plus. All week we've been looking at this 260.10. This is really the A plus entry here. Like I said, you can enter on Monday. We will look for a break and retest over 264.05, targeting all-time high since it hasn't taken that out yet. But we're pretty much hands off this name for the week. It has earnings. Monday's probably going to be the only day that I look at this name. But other than that, this is what we're looking for. Pullback long, 260.10, or a break and retest over 264.05, targeting all-time highs. If we gap up and make new all-time highs, I'm pretty much hands off this name. I want to play the pullbacks, as we know, right? I feel like we are late to the party if we're playing a break and retest off an all-time high level. Hope that makes sense. So Monday is the only day I'm looking at Apple. If we can get a pullback long off this 260.10, that's really our valid shot. You can see buyer stepped up here, defended this very well, and we got this push all the way to the top of this range. So that's exactly what I'm looking for. As you know, I always say the deeper the pullback, the better. So these are our key levels that we're looking to take a trade off of on Monday. Anywhere in between here, these two key levels are our no trade zone. Once again, I'll go on the hourly. You can see we are pretty much starting to form a channel in here in between 264.05 and 260. But that is 100% normal. We got that continuation to the upside. We made new all-time highs this week. Consolidation. Now we're looking for our next leg higher. But you can clearly see this name is trending, right? You can clearly see this name is trending. So not looking to short this name. We're just looking for pullback long entries to the upside. But ideally off this 260.10. Palantir. So this is why I mark these out as zones. Respected on the dot. I've been noticing that every time we push into this 188, pretty much almost this all-time high, sellers step in very aggressively. Now, I've been saying we are very bullish on the higher time frame as long as we are above 169. I broke it down last week. If you're taking longs off this 177.05, that is a very valid trade. This key level has been respected, and it's a valid trade because you're trading with the overall time frame. We're bullish on the higher time frame. We're sitting high on the daily. We're not looking to short this name. Beautiful break retest over this 177.05. I'll go here on the hourly. Just look on the dot. These wicks respecting this 177.05. So I am keeping this on my close watch coming into this week. Market's making new all-time highs. We're trending higher. If we can get this break over this weekly level, this 188, right, we can definitely see all-time highs. The price action on this name is actually good once it's trending. So once we can get out of all this noise, there's nothing in here for us. There's nothing in there for me. I don't trade zones. But once we get out of this, we can see, our next leg higher, right? This was a trend, consolidation, next leg higher. That's all we're looking for. So two key levels I'm looking for here on Palantir is 188 and 169. Google, also another name that has earnings this week. So just be cautious, but very normal. Consolidation, we got that breakout, next leg higher. So what am I looking for on Google? The top of this channel to turn and to support, and then we start to continue our trend to the upside. That's all we're looking for. Let's go here on the daily. You can see this name is very bullish. Just like AMD, we were struggling to get a candle close above here, above this 256.70. We finally got that daily candle closed. So the way market structure works, right? What are we looking for? We still need this retest. I want a daily candle to form above here. We get this pullback long off this 256.70, and we target this all-time high. So I hope you're catching this pattern. I hope I'm explaining market structure properly to you. This is the A plus trade. It's not up here. It's not up here. This is the A plus trade. The pullback long here, targeting the all-time high, that's the better RR. Price will gravitate higher. You're with the overall higher time frame trend. You're trading with the trend. We are bullish bias on this name. So that being said, 256.70, this is the key level I'm looking for. Now, thin volume. There's a lot of thin volume in here. So I'm really comfortable taking this long off of this because this is just the market completing this objective. We filled the volume, got the pullback long to this 256.70, and then we can target all-time highs. Hood, I know some people trade Hood. Friday was a big day on Hood, honestly. We almost reclaimed this 140.15. Now, you can see I have this labeled as BOS, which stands for break of structure. We were now in a downtrend. Once we reclaim this 140.15, we are now bullish bias on this name again. And you can clearly see this is a key level here. Sellers are sitting up here. This is a very strong level right here. So if we can get over 140.15, this is a valid long. That's a valid long. All right, you can take the break and retest over this. You can target this all-time high. This previous day high, and then the top of this range. This is a really good name. You can clearly see the past 3 days, we have been moving to the upside. So seeing sellers step up here, that's not a shocker to me at all. This will be a break of structure, break and retest if we get over this. So this is something that will be on my close watch list going into Monday. I'm watching this 140.15. Anything in between 140 and 133, obviously is our no trade zone. As long as we are under 140.15, we are bearish bias. So this is a valid shot. So two key levels we're looking for is 140.15 and 133.05. But Market's making all-time highs. The tech names is moving higher. So I'm very comfortable and confident that, Hood can get over this 140.15. So I suggest you watch this too. This is a really good name to trade. Tight spreads, clean price action. So if we can get over this 140.15, this has a clear shot to the top of this range. You can scale out at this previous day high and leave some runners for continuation.